The very second you inhale that distinct, sweet, plastic-like scent of a brand new carpet, your lungs instantly initiate a microscopic emergency response as if you just stepped into a smoky forest fire. Within 3 breaths, specialized sensory receptors in your airways register these volatile organic compounds not as a clean scent, but as a biological threat. Your body immediately begins to reallocate its energetic resources, launching a silent, highly coordinated defensive campaign to protect your DNA. This invisible chemical cascade happens entirely in the background, transforming your respiratory tract into a hyperactive defense zone before you even have a chance to unpack a single box. What you are actually smelling is not cleanliness, but a complex cocktail of airborne chemical compounds off-gassing into your personal space. We are going to trace the exact journey these invisible molecules take through your body, revealing how your respiratory, immune, and hepatic systems collaborate to neutralize this modern environmental exposure. Let us look closely at the chemistry of what is happening under your feet. When a new carpet is manufactured, it is treated with various adhesives, flame retardants, and stain-resistant finishes. These materials are packed with volatile organic compounds, often referred to as volatile organic chemicals. The term volatile simply means these molecules have a very low boiling point, allowing them to vaporize easily at normal room temperature. They literally float off the synthetic fibers and drift directly into your breathing zone. When you take a breath in a newly carpeted room, you are drawing in hundreds of these tiny carbon-based compounds, including substances like toluene, benzene, ethylbenzene, and styrene. How does your body react to this invisible invasion? Your nose is your first line of defense, but it is not a perfect shield. While your nasal hairs can easily trap large physical particles of dust or pet dander, these gaseous chemicals are far too small. They slip right past the nasal vestibule and head straight down your trachea. In a landmark 2015 study published by Dr. Ann Steinemann, researchers analyzed the sheer volume of volatile organic compounds emitted by common household building materials, including synthetic flooring. The findings were staggering. A single installation can release dozens of distinct chemical emissions simultaneously, many of which bypass typical domestic filtration systems. Think of your respiratory tract as a vast, winding river. The walls of this river are lined with a delicate, moist layer of tissue called the epithelium. This lining is covered in millions of microscopic hair-like projections called cilia, which beat in perfect unison like synchronized oars. Their job is to push a thin blanket of mucus upward and outward, trapping foreign particles and carrying them away from your sensitive deep lungs. But chemical gases behave differently than physical dust. Instead of sitting harmlessly on the mucus layer, molecules like formaldehyde can dissolve directly into the watery fluid lining your airways. Is your body built to handle this? Yes, and the mechanism is beautiful. The moment these dissolved chemicals make contact with your epithelial cells, they trigger the release of specialized signaling proteins called cytokines. These proteins act like cellular sirens, sending a distress call through your local tissues. In response, blood vessels in your airways dilate slightly, allowing more immune cells to flood the area. It is not the chemical itself burning your throat, but your own immune system creating a localized protective barrier of inflammation to keep the compounds from penetrating deeper. But the real magic happens deep within the microscopic air sacs of your lungs, the alveoli. These tiny balloon-like structures are where the miracle of gas exchange takes place. To understand the sheer scale of this system, if you were to unfold all the alveoli in your lungs, they would cover an area roughly equivalent to the surface area of a tennis court. The barrier between the air you breathe and your bloodstream is unbelievably thin, less than 1 micrometer thick. That is less than 1/50th the width of a single human hair. This incredible thinness is necessary for oxygen to pass into your blood, but it also means volatile chemical compounds have an open gateway into your cardiovascular system. As these gaseous compounds reach the alveoli, they slip across this ultra-thin membrane effortlessly. What happens next is nothing short of a biological masterpiece. The moment these molecules enter your bloodstream, they do not just float around causing chaos. Your cardiovascular system acts like a high-speed transit network, rushing these compounds directly to your liver via the portal vein. Your liver is the ultimate chemical processing plant of the human body. It houses a massive family of specialized enzymes known as the cytochrome P450 superfamily. Think of these enzymes as highly trained bomb disposal technicians. According to a classic 2013 study on toxicant biotransformation by Dr. Curtis Klassen, these hepatic enzymes are genetically programmed to recognize the specific molecular shapes of synthetic compounds and systematically dismantle them. This detoxification process happens in two distinct phases. In phase 1, your cytochrome enzymes perform a process called functionalization. They attack the chemical structure of the volatile organic compound, inserting a highly reactive oxygen molecule into it. This step is like adding a handle or a hook to a slippery package. Ironically, this phase temporarily makes the chemical even more reactive and potentially toxic than it was when you first breathed it in. This is the moment of peak biological tension. If these highly reactive intermediates are left alone, they can cause oxidative stress inside your liver cells. But your body does not leave them alone. Instantly, phase 2 detoxification begins. This process is called conjugation. Your liver cells take these newly hooked, highly reactive chemical intermediates and bind them to heavy, protective, water-soluble molecules like glutathione, sulfate, or amino acids. Imagine taking a highly unstable, jagged piece of metal and wrapping it in a thick, soft mattress. That is exactly what your liver does. By binding these compounds to glutathione, your liver transforms a toxic, fat-soluble gas into a completely harmless, water-soluble molecule. Once the chemical is water-soluble, it can easily dissolve into your bloodstream once again. Where does it go from there? Your kidneys. Your two kidneys contain about 2 million microscopic filtering units called nephrons. As your blood flows through these nephrons, the water-soluble conjugated chemicals are easily filtered out of the bloodstream and directed into your urine, allowing your body to safely eliminate them. This entire complex multi-system sequence happens continuously, silently, and flawlessly without you ever having to consciously direct a single cell. You simply breathe in the smell of a new room, and your lungs, liver, and kidneys immediately engage in a masterfully coordinated symphony of defense to keep your internal environment pristine. Now that you understand this remarkable internal process, how can you work in harmony with your body to make this detoxification process as effortless as possible? You do not need to live in fear of modern materials, but you can actively support your biological machinery. First, let us talk about the power of source temperature manipulation, often called the bakeout technique. Because volatile organic compounds are highly sensitive to temperature, their rate of off-gassing increases dramatically as the air warms up. To accelerate this process, you can seal the newly carpeted room, turn the heating system up to approximately 80 degrees Fahrenheit, and let it sit for 24 hours. This high temperature forces the synthetic materials to release their volatile chemicals at an accelerated rate. Afterward, turn off the heat, open all the windows, and place fans blowing outward to flush the concentrated air out of your home. Doing this for 72 hours before spending significant time in the room dramatically reduces the chemical load your lungs have to process. Second, you can directly fuel your liver's phase 2 detoxification pathway through targeted dietary choices. Since your liver relies heavily on glutathione to neutralize these reactive intermediates, you can boost your body's natural production of this vital antioxidant by consuming cruciferous vegetables like broccoli, Brussels sprouts, and cabbage. These foods are packed with a compound called sulforaphane, which acts as a powerful genetic trigger, signaling your cells to ramp up their production of glutathione. Giving your body a rich supply of these cruciferous building blocks ensures your liver has an abundant supply of defensive ammunition when facing elevated chemical exposures. Third, optimize your indoor filtration system to target gases rather than just physical particles. Many people believe that a standard HEPA filter will clean the air of new carpet odors. However, standard HEPA filters are designed to capture physical particulate matter like dust, mold spores, and pollen. They cannot trap gaseous chemical molecules. To capture volatile organic compounds, you must use an activated carbon filter. Activated carbon contains millions of microscopic, highly porous channels that attract and bind gaseous molecules through a process called adsorption. When choosing an air purifier for a newly decorated space, always ensure it contains a substantial, heavy bed of activated carbon, ideally weighing several pounds, to physically capture those synthetic molecules before they ever reach your airways. Take a moment to reflect on what is happening inside you right now. We often view our bodies as fragile entities, easily harmed by the modern world and the synthetic environments we build around ourselves. But the science reveals a completely different reality. Your body is not a helpless victim of your environment. It is an incredibly sophisticated, highly adaptable biological powerhouse. Every single second of your life, your lungs are monitoring the air, your immune cells are patrolling your tissues, and your liver is performing complex chemical engineering to keep you safe. You are a living, breathing testament to millions of years of evolutionary refinement. When you walk into a newly carpeted room and catch that distinct scent, you do not need to feel anxious. Instead, let it serve as a profound reminder of the silent miracles occurring within your chest and abdomen at this very moment. Your organs are working in absolute harmony, constantly purifying, protecting, and preserving the delicate balance of your life. Keep exploring the magnificent operating manual of your own biology. Your body is constantly communicating with you, and understanding its language is the ultimate form of self-care. Continue this journey of discovery with us, because there is another incredibly common, invisible exposure happening in your daily life right now. One that is fundamentally altering your cellular energy production in ways you would never expect. We will decode exactly what that is very soon.